Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Sports Medicine, offering services for sports injury and recovery, with physicians and athletic trainers who provide treatment for fractures, dislocations, sprains, strains, and other sports-related issues. More information on services at stalphonsus.org.
The Boise State Public Radio app. News, music, and more.
Idaho Matters.
Morning Edition.
All Things Considered.
The Connector.
And more.
And more.
You can take us wherever you go and stay connected. Without it, you're missing out. Download it free.
You can also communicate using the Talk to Us tab.
The Boise State Public Radio app.
For Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector, Idaho's daily news. Good morning, I'm James Dawson. It's Friday, May 1st, and here are today's headlines. The ACLU is suing Idaho for its latest anti-transgender bathroom bill. Idahoans who've been affected by radiation from Cold War nuclear testing are now eligible for federal compensation, and tenants living in city-owned affordable housing complexes in Boise can get a free bus pass. Stay with us. The ACLU of Idaho has filed a lawsuit against the state's latest anti-transgender bathroom bill. Julie Lucetta has more.
Under HB 752, people who use public restrooms that do not align with their birth sex can face felony charges and 5 years in prison for a second offense. The lawsuit, filed Wednesday, says the bill puts people under surveillance in places where privacy is expected for everyone. Cal Olson, an attorney for the plaintiffs, says it also exposes trans people to harassment.
This law leaves transgender people in the impossible and exhausting position of trying to determine what is allowed on a daily basis almost anywhere in their public lives.
The law applies to all governmental buildings and places of public accommodation, including private businesses. Speaking at a press conference, plaintiff Diego Fable said he has no other choice but to leave the state.
Living in fear every time I leave the house is not sustainable. So this law is forcing me to leave my treasured friends and community behind.
In an email, a spokesperson for the Attorney General said his office was looking forward to defending the law. Julie Lucetta, Boise State Public Radio News.
The law is set to go into effect July 1st. Idahoans who've developed cancer from radiation from Cold War nuclear testing are now eligible for federal compensation, and 2 nonprofits are working to help them navigate the application process for free. Those sickened by the radiation can get up to $100,000. Idaho Downwinders and the Snake River Alliance are hosting the workshops in Boise today and Saturday. People can get page-by-page help in filling out the applications without paying steep fees to a third party. The workshops will run from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and again at 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Idaho State Museum. The Greater Boise Auditorium District is poised to buy another large parcel of land near downtown as the group expands its reach. GBAD collects revenue from a local hotel tax along with hosting events at the Boise Center to boost the local economy. Earlier this week, board members voted to potentially acquire the nearly 2-acre Idaho Records Management lot on 9th and River Streets. The district approved buying a 4-acre parcel directly across the street in March. Here's GBAD's Executive Director, Cody Lund.
The opportunity for that development and the flexibility that it provides is something that will be very advantageous to the district going forward.
The agreement comes in 2 parts. The district first purchased a $2.5 million option to buy the property. If it chooses to pull the trigger within the next 5 years, it'll then pay another $12.5 million for the parcel. The 2 properties could host future convention space, a multi-purpose indoor sports facility, or performing arts center. Some members of Congress say selling public lands is an answer to the affordable housing crisis. But as the Mountain West News Bureau's Rachel Cohen reports, conservation and affordable housing groups are sharing standards they say these proposals should meet.
60 organizations are sharing the new policy framework. Noelle Porter works for one, the National Housing Law Project. She says proposals for housing on public land should include legally binding affordability requirements, fit with local land use plans, and involve consultation with tribes and communities.
The goal is to sort of say, you can't wrap this sale in a premise that isn't actually a part of the promise.
The groups came together after Republican Senator Mike Lee of Utah proposed a large-scale land sell-off last year, which they say wouldn't have led to affordable housing. Meanwhile, Interior Secretary Doug Burgum has his own plan to use federal land for housing, but hasn't made any public move since announcing it over a year ago. For the Mountain West News Bureau, I'm Rachel Cohen.
And Boise and Valley Regional Transit are offering free bus passes to all tenants in city-owned affordable housing facilities. Right now, almost 290 people live in the 31 properties owned by the city, nearly one-third of whom have already applied for a pass. In a statement, Mayor Lauren McLean says these residents can now more easily get to work, run errands, and visit family and friends without having to worry about another expense. Most teens in Boise can also get a free bus pass for the next 2 summers. People 18 and younger can apply for the pass that runs from May 1st through August 31st thanks to a grant from the Blue Cross Foundation. And that's today's episode of The Connector. I'm James Dawson, and we'll see you back here Monday. If this episode meant something to you, why not text it to a friend? Share it with them today, and think about leaving a quick rating or review on Apple or Spotify to help other people discover us. Thanks for listening.
You know, every day on Up First, NPR's Golden Globe-nominated morning news podcast, we bring you 3 essential stories. At the heart of each story are questions. What really happened? What really mattered? What happens next? At NPR, we stand for your right to be curious and to follow the facts. Follow Up First wherever you get your podcasts and start your day knowing what matters and why.